I am working from home today, and I wanted to tell you something about a God wink that I didn't even mean to run into today. I had a little break, they're very few and far between, but I was going to scroll TikTok a minute and have a string cheese. That's the excitement of my day, and I think that I am on my own page somehow, that maybe I just clicked the wrong thing, but I am on the For You page, and it's me. And I don't know how you end up on your own For You page. But there was a video, and I love this song. My best friend taught it to me when she was still living. Is everything attached to you wins. It's your winning season. You've got God to carry you, and you can't afford to lose again. Everything attached to me wins. And I just felt led to just sing it to you last night, and it wasn't me singing, it was somebody else singing, and I was just singing along in the background. When it shows up on my own page, I look at the search bar, because coming out of a space of, I've been a minister for a long time, but the equal amount of time I have been a writer, I've been a journalist, did a lot of marketing writing. I'm always interested in what shows up in your search bar. What did they find relevant? And why did it change in the search bar? Most of the time it is kind of relevant. But it said, get ready to receive help. Well, yesterday I released my first piece of journalism that wasn't human interest, fully guided in 5 years. And that's because people will paint over your story to make it match some party. And I'm not trying to match a party, I just want to tell the truth. But the Lord talked to me so heavily about coming out of retirement, giving a voice to the mountains. And this is where I grew up. This is where I'm from. Like, my whole family is dirt people. We don't know anything else. And I remember telling God last night, do with it what you will. Because I could have put it in a network. That would have been easy. I had a network that wanted it. It could have been easy. But I backed out, and the Lord told me to post it here. And you wake up anytime you're a journalist or a pastor, really kind of, we get the same amount of love and flack. And I didn't know what I would wake up to, but I've been around long enough to let it roll off my back. If somebody don't agree with me, that's okay. I don't need people to agree with me. And I woke up, and I was half asleep when I woke up today. And it's kind of uncommon for things to go viral after a couple hours have passed. But it has not been even 24 hours. And like one of my best friends said, who's also one of my editors, she's like, I think God just said, hold my drink. And while I was asleep, all of this happened while I was sleeping. Found it so interesting that the last thought I had last night was, everything attached to you wins. It's your winning season. And I know it don't feel like our winning season. I mean, I think that goes without saying, right? But I just had to come and tell you that if you're living in the middle of all of this devastation right now, or you're looking for people, or this is where you grew up, or it's where your family grew up, if these hills and mountains are even places that you visited and we got to see your face in the fall. We consider that family. We consider you come back to us time and time again. There's just something about this space. And I just had to tell you that the search bar had no reason in that video to say, help, expect to receive help. It did not make any sense. But I am, as you know, an eternal optimist. And maybe this part doesn't resonate with you. Maybe this is something else in your life where you're waiting on God to bring in help, and you want it to come from Him. You don't care where it comes from at this point. But when I think about help being on the way, I always go back to Mrs. Doubtfire when Robin Williams says, help is on the way, dear. And I just wanted to tell you that. You could be coming from New York and need help. You could be stuck in the middle of Asheville right now being like, my God, why have you forsaken me? even though you know that he hasn't, because you're human. And I just felt like I needed to tell you that. God is so near the brokenhearted. He's so faithful, even when it don't make any sense. And I know that might seem silly, but to somebody who understands how keywords work and how the back end of Google works and how when you're writing something, you may need certain points to be met so that that comes into line with everything that's being said about that particular space. I find it riveting that nothing in there was talking about help. Nothing was asking for help. It was your winning season, but help is on the way. You just can't make up the way that God winks at you. I pray that this finds as few or as many people that need it today, because that's all that matters. If this is for one person and you see it, hallelujah. I pray that you remember that God is always on the ready to help. He has never let me down. Even on the worst days of my life, he's never let me down. And I don't expect him to start with you. You hear me? I don't expect him to start with you.